So I apologize. Don't judge this book by this cover. Okay. So as you have heard, I'm just here. I don't have a plan. I don't have a speech. I just came here to grace to grace the event, and I walked in when the guys with the travels were presenting, and I was telling advocates that was actually God's calling, saying, you know what, because you've not been feeling well, maybe you need to be part of this traveling thing and get a break and, go away for a bit. Because the past month has been very tough. I haven't actually been going to work because I've been that sick. But by the grace of God, I hope I'll be okay. So now we're talking of girls on fire. And I can't think of a better time to be on fire than in an economy like ours. You really need, when she was talking about residual income, having more than one source of income, because she made reference to something. She said, and my friend said something to me. So at the time he said, God did not intend for you to have one source of income. If he intended for you to have one source of income, he would have given you to this world with one source. But you were born with two parents, which are two sources of income. And who are you now to say, when you're grown, all you need is one source of income? We live in an economy where now to look at your salary is a source of stress. It is a source of stress. I went, so last week at work, so what I'm doing right now, I am doing my articles with one of the big 4 accounting firms. I'm pursuing my journey to be a chartered accountant. So I'm doing my articles with Deloitte. I'm 1.5 years in, so I'm 1.5 years to go. So I was looking at my pay slip. So before they would give something like, this is a hardship allowance, this is a hardship allowance. So then they say, oh, we have reviewed your salaries, and now you have 2 times your salaries. At first I was happy, but now I have extra income. Only until I got to see the figure. And I realized my little 40-liter tank car won't be able to take me to work on that salary for just 1 month. I can't afford it with that salary. I can't. So we're out here crying for these jobs, but in this economy, you need to turn on your hustle mode, girls. You need to get into that beast mode and hustle. And be on fire there, not just in heels and looking good. You need to be on fire there. Because one thing I've learned is that your pocket sort of determines your power, your strength. How good you can take care of yourself affects how much worth you assign to yourself. You cannot be, people say being a girl is easy, but you can't be that kind of girl who, when you want new hair, you have to ask. When you want nails, you have to ask. When you want makeup, you have to ask. And right now in this economy, these things have ballooned. Like, right now, a pack of braids, I was shocked that a pack of braids is going for $9 now. Something that used to be like $1. So now what that means is for you to put your hustle mode on, okay? Normally I would have come here and told you of my journey, how I started school and things were so hard and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. They say that education is the only investment without risk. While it may seem like my education can't take me to work for a full month, like I cannot afford it, anymore. But I need to tell you that there is a certain level of opening your mind that going to school gives to you. If you talk to someone who has a degree, and you go to talk to my cousin, we were brought up in the same circumstances, who doesn't have O level, who doesn't have A level, you will be talking to two different people. Right? So today, instead of me coming to tell you that you need to go to school, I'm sure you know that. I'm sure at this point you know you need to have your papers in place. Not just for you to use these papers to get jobs or whatever, but to enlighten your mind. Today I'm here to tell you that you need education with production. We don't need education to be employees anymore. But we need education that enlightens us. An education that gives us a reasoning capacity of putting, okay, this is where we are now in Zimbabwe. What do I need to do to survive? I'll tell you, somebody is out there, found a corner, started selling airtime, can afford to take themselves to work, to buy food, to do their nails, to do their hair. While somebody says, I have a business studies degree, I'm waiting for a job and sitting at home. Somebody says, I have a business studies degree, and they are getting employed somewhere as I don't know whatever it is, and they're getting $300 and they cannot afford to take care of themselves. While these two people are the same, they might be the same, they have the same business studies degree. The other one is educated for employment. Vakakura vachudwa kunzi unoenda kuchikoro kana wapedza chikoro woenda unotsvaga basa kana wawana basa woemployer wogara pacompany 20 years down the line wopromote CEO or whatever that you are. The other one is thinking in terms of they are not taking their education as a source of getting employment. They're taking their education as a source of making a living. Why would you have a business studies degree and not be able to run your own business? So why did you study business studies? How do you convince the next person that you are a very good accountant, but you can't even draw books of accounts for your church? How do you go ahead and convince me you have a degree in chemistry, you are waiting for somebody to employ you as a chemist wherever, but you can't mix a mixture and make a perfume and sell it to the next person? We need to switch our mindsets from going to school for the sake of getting the next job to going to school so that we are enlightened and we apply whatever we have learned there to make a living for ourselves. We're not going to get to school so that we get employed, but we're going to get to school so that we know how to make a living out of ourselves. And now, this is not even just applying to those you might say, okay, I don't have a skill, I can't mix the mixtures that you want me to mix, I don't know how to run a business, so I don't have a business studies degree. The Bible tells us of the parable of the 10 talents. There was a man who gave somebody 10 talents and gave to the other 5 talents and gave to the other 1 talent. And what happened? The one with 10 talents went and made 10 more talents out of it. And the Bible doesn't even make a big deal out of he made 10 more talents. It's expected of you. God has given you something and He's expecting you to make something out of that for yourself. So this one gets 10 talents. Then the other one with 5 makes 5 more talents. And the one who has 1, what does he do? He goes, he buries the talent under wherever he buried it. And then the master comes back, brings everybody, please come and report back on what you did. The first 7 says, oh, you gave me 10 talents. I made 10 more talents. Here are your talents. And what does the master do? The master says, you have been faithful, so I'll give you 10 more cities. I'll give you 10 cities. Then the other one comes, you gave me 5 talents, and I made 5 more talents out of it. What does the master do? The master gives him cities according to the number of talents that he made. And then one talent comes. Like, I'm a Zimbabwean. Ndakaita degree but hakuna mabasa. Saka degree riri kukumba ndipewo chikafu. And what does the master do? The master took that one talent that he had given to this one and gave it to the one who had 10 talents. Gave it to that guy. Why? Because this one was focusing on, why did this one get 10 and I got 1? This guy is unjust. He wants to reap where it didn't work. Looking at all the negatives that were there in the scenario. Because also when I read about that parable, that was the first thing. Why are you giving somebody 10 and you're giving the other one 5? If they are all your servants, that's not fair. But this other one did not focus on the negativity that was in the environment that they were working in. They focused on using what they heard to make more. And this one said, you're an unjust master. I knew you were not just, you're not fair. So I took the talent and I put it, here is your talent. You didn't even get appreciated for keeping that talent. No, you didn't get appreciation for that. Instead, it was taken away from him and given to the one who's 10. What is the lesson from the parable of the talents? You work from what you have. You work from wherever you are. You use what you have because God is not man. We can't all be here saying, I went to university at 14. No. You can try to go to university at 14, but you might not go to university at 14. You might try to go to university at 14 and you find out I actually can go there at 12. So we are not the same. So don't be projecting other people's situations. If only I was this girl who has 2 jobs and is actually giving up the other job because she says she's stressed, I could be doing A, B, C, D. No, you are not that girl and you have to come to peace with that. And set your own fire in your own terms. Set your own fire in your own way, in that path that God has given for you. Because He's not man, He's not foolish. And you need to find out what that one talent that God gave you is. It can't be school for all of us. Some of you are really good at sewing. Some of you are good at knitting. Some of you are really good at making hair. Make money from that and take care of yourself. But at the end of the day, when God now asks you to account for it, you will not accept an excuse, you didn't give me braids, you just gave me the ability to make hair. No, He's going to ask you, you could really do makeup. You were very artistic. When you did your eyebrows, they were on fleek. What did you do with it? He's going to ask you, you know kuti took about that fabric to make skirts in Ankara outfit. It came out so good. Everybody would be asking, what did you do with that? So this is not the time to be looking at, I don't have a job, some people have jobs. Trust me, people with jobs are really struggling too. It's a time to focus on what the Lord has set in your path and try to make a fire out of that. And to those with jobs, this is not the time to be complaining about, retras Mukira, retras. So what are you doing? What do you have? What do you have? Because at the end of the day, when the Lord now asks for a terrible, like there's this book that I read that was saying, at the end of our life's journey, God is going to ask us to account for our time and the opportunities that we have with terrible exactness. And trust me, in that room, the fact that you were in Zimbabwe that was not firing, you were in a Zimbabwe that had fewer queues, and a Zimbabwe that you had to just find bread at 7:30. For you to get bread, you have to wake up at 7:30. It's not going to be a good enough excuse as to why you did not use the opportunity that were given to you. Yeah, I see a lot of faces that are now thinking, okay. Yes, you have to actually think. Because you can't come here and claim Girls on Fire conference and go back home, wash off that makeup, take off that wig, take off those clothes, take off those wigs, and sleep, and still not be on fire. You can't. achieve whatever we're trying to achieve here, if what you're just going to do is show us that you can look good and at the end of the day go take it off and sleep. No, you have to really think, so what is your fire that you're claiming you're on? What is your fire? May the name of the Lord be praised.
Girls on fire, way! Girls on fire, way! Way, Makakare, thank you so much, Mauti. Take on your hustle more. Watching me rock one or two that we take and Sister Abigail, the worship and able to go one worship song. Hallelujah. God, you move. Good day, Marie. Nemoyo, ino
Glory be to Jesus. Girls on fire. Fire chair, you best for the right. Mama, let your man to pay you better fire. Girls on fire. Hallelujah. How many are happy to be in this place? How many are blessed? How many of us are almost feeling their takeaway? So, the takeaway. And I want to respect Mama, from this Magwench, from which they are from this Masamba. They are the people of God. They deserve to be standing here, speaking, teaching, but they gave us this chance that I may come in this place and I may teach. I will respect my chair, our Mama Youth Leader. She's a wonderful person. Hallelujah. You know, it's a blessing when you see someone who was a girl, you groomed her. You know, I think that's that juncture when Apostle Paul said, give me evidence, you apostleship. I'm so happy to see her becoming a mother unto you girls. She was once a young lady. To Sister Evis, I'll call her. You know, I'm so happy that she's organizing such a thing, and I want to respect my Mama Gwench for that. Yeah, I know you are receiving a lot of anointing from the woman of God. Hallelujah. Again, the person who has been leading, Mama, you say name again, sorry. Mushariwa. Mama Mushariwa, she's a wonderful person. Hallelujah. I know from your assembly, you know, I would have a spiritual meter and all, but you can just feel it that this woman is on fire. Hallelujah. We want to respect the woman of God. You don't have to make it as well. The people of God who have spoken before me, there is someone who taught in the morning about personal development, as well as the evangelist Mama Kwanchizo, who was preaching like no man's business. Hallelujah. And I want to respect the guest of honor, hallelujah. Mama Muchiriwaehondo made a small mistake. I'm not going to teach on grooming. Grooming, there is a special person, an anointed person for that. I'm going to touch on financial freedom. Hallelujah. So it's just a point of correction for those who are grooming. I'm going to touch on financial freedom. Hallelujah. The person who just chose not kunotamba kana kunoita makoa kana kungoenda saloon, but just chose to say, I want to be under the anointing of God. I want to be in the presence of God. I want to respect each and every girl. Pauri papo shifarire zvihage zvisekerere izvako zvifarira muzita raMwari Jesu. Hallelujah. Amen. No one wakati queen that zvifarire izvako zvifarira izvako zvisurukira kuzvihaga izvako zvida kana uchikwanisa kuzvibereka zvitakure kuzvibereka kumusana. I don't know how you would do it, but be happy about yourself. Hallelujah. Amen. Topic yanapiwa yabinga batwa nevana nakuti nemwari ndichoone chekutaura here vanhu ngavarege kudaro hanzi tsokororo ine simba ramama handiti but mwari vakangotendeka zvavo apa zvinozobatwa hazvo zvese plus after all it's all about God. Ukatoona mwari vachitsimbirira nyaya, it's just a confirmation that the girl child needs to work on that area. Hallelujah. Amen and amen. Someone to read for me from the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 31, I think it's a very common chapter, on verse 17 and verse 18. Someone to quickly read those scriptures.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 17 to 18. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night.
Thank you very much. Hallelujah. I hope masikati anova navarari ndaunonge vanhu vanyatsodya vaguta hazvina kushata kuguta, but let it be for the benefit of the body, right? But not to the extent of being detrimental to the soul and the spirit, right? Masikati anondokufara ndikuona zviso zvakabwinya. Ini topic yandapiwa iri very simple. Ukada kutaura zvemafinances ka zviri simple kutaura nezvazvo, but practicality. I need to say practicality. You can pretend to be rich, but there are circumstances where you need to really show that you really have the world. Hallelujah. There are times, maybe if it's just for a day, you can pretend and take that best outfit of yours. Sister Maria, but when it comes to day-to-day living, but today I just came with nuggets for the girl child or for the young lady, that what can you do or how can you get to that level where you have what we call financial freedom. Level yekuti unosvika pakuti unotenga chauri kuda, kwete nekuti chinoita mari, kwete nekuti ndo chiripo chega, kana kuti nekuti ndo chauno afforda. But you buy what you want because you want it as is. And you want to buy it from where you are buying it. Many times, maybe someone is pushed to buy certain things here in Harare. Why? Because they can't afford to go to a certain place where they can get that specific thing. So I just came up with a definition for what we call financial freedom. Financial freedom. Boss, pamukune vana vechikoro vanogona kuti handichiri mwana wechikoro nekumba kwedu vanoona zvekuita. Saka inini ndichiri financial freedom because ndobodza mama wati musoro washata and she says packet braids nemari yahairdresser ndongozotoona iuya dona ovonzi matips imari ekunoreplace matips ungoinonoreplace matips handiti, and you just go on. But as a young lady, there is a juncture or there is a place that's where you have to come to say, I am financially free, where you do what you want when you want to do it. It's not rude. I need to correct Christians. Hakusikuwa rude, hakusikudada. Mari haichikise. Hallelujah. Mari haina kumboshata. Takakura maybe my environment yakunzi mari. Vanone mari vanodada. Hamuvazivi vanodada. Munangochenerwa hatikomende chichi vanodada. Munangazoendera kuchikoro kwake vanodada. Munangozviitira kamota kake kane katoka ex-jab kemubhero vanodada. You know why? Because hatina financial freedom, tina inonzi financial ceiling patakasvitsa. Hallelujah. Vane mastands simudzai maoko vasikana. Musikana ane stand. Tinaomberere maoko. Vane mastands. I don't mind girls where you have your stand, either iri kana kuti kumbare kubudiri nokuborode uku. At least you have got your piece of land. From the book of Proverbs we read that she considers a piece of land and she goes and buys that land. Vadakurorwa vangani? Hamuna nalorwa muno. Vadakurorwa vangani ngatidzimoko. Hallelujah. Munanorora nei. Munanorora nechi. Uda kurorwa nemari yani. Iusino yako. Hallelujah. Many times we put our boys on pressure. When I was 27 and above, I don't mean any harm. I'm sorry, I'm not going to victimize anyone. 27 and above. It's okay. Thank you guys. I'll have it true. If we had boys who are 27 today, I'm not going to ask you many questions. Tika bunza wakumana vane 27 at the moment. Vanhu vakuwapa pressure. Hey, uchirotorora manje. Hey, imba yacho unomisa pemukadzi here. Une mota here, une stand here, mari yekurora pamunini zvakamira sei. But vasikana vedavo hativapeka na pressure kungoti geza mwanasikana, dzidza mwanasikana, unonochengetwa kupi? Kumukomana nditi. Ichi. Ndoda kukudzai ndane 6 years ndachipfeka ichi. Hansana kutambira salary yekurorwa asikana. Sadakamira panapa. Hansana kutambira salary, amina mamune kupuwa salary yekurorwa. Alizivi kana kuri kuti utudze yotende tinotambira asikana. Hakuna kupuwa salary yekunzi varorwa vese mwedzi Hallelujah. We grew up, our mothers told us, Manambuka, Munuje Kungwara. You have to find a guy the guy. How about the lady? We should have our own monies. Do you know what was going on in marriage? We were telling boys, imagine, I'm telling you the truth. Imagine if we were there from Prado, year 2018, do the chocolate. And it's not to be the photo of I'm giving you real scenarios. Excuse me. We etiquette. That's how the chocolate. God has done an uncommon on the name. Where chicken slice. Who owns the businesses? Who owns the means of production? Who owns them? We push the boys. Mama, pressure mama here. Teacher great track. Mizio ya mwana. Ili ndeka rongeka. Mbeto ya mwana ene wako. Kuna mwana soshike. Ha. Bachuna ramba mwana ka baruna rongeke. Kana sitarora rongeke. Iwo rongeka. Usatu waro. Have the money. Buy that bed, that therapy that you want. Each guy so no what in no shida. Usatu waro. Hallelujah. I will not stress much because we're going to support one and Mama Batizo. Could see potato one. Potato one. You know, cost the destiny one. Potato one. Hallelujah. You will power pop up. Potato one is valuable, as beautiful, as anointed as you are. Potato one. To consider a land and do something. It's not just about land. My financial needs are young late. Young lady are not a food. Where up stairs, where up battles, where up chicken in. So what brother about where chance and don't put no chicken in what you can afford it on your own. Be financially free. Many people are abused, our young ladies, they are abused all because of something. You know, there are these things ahead of a story. You know, because maybe somebody was abused because they could not take a jumpsuit to him, she is sleeveless foot. Someone is abused because of that, because he has a value a man, and someone will take advantage of you. Girls, I want us to work with our hands. Financial freedom. And now start money and appear, and now profile money and appear. Hallelujah. You need clothes. So putting your one assist, putting your one mama, but you cannot think away with the Christmas. But I want you to get what Christmas, I was sick of mama, so come here say. Financial freedom, you know, pot of people so know that. Amen. You need shelter. Panema Margaret says one of a Mosha. Cannot I cover Mosha. My parents are not a Mosha, so that you want to walk out your quadrat. Very poor. Cannot miss him for my born in my life. Very poor hour Mosha. You need shelter and it. My circumstances are not Siana, even my parents are they stay in Morewa in Usumba, to be specific. So when I came to Arad, I needed shelter. Financial freedom, no kaga. Dobono bottom papa uno unodya kana tichiwana 10 unochiwana 10 idzodzi uchitambiswa nhamo. Why? Because hauna financial freedom. You are under financial stress, financial antagonism. Kana takuda kushandisa zvimabvoko, but chokwadi chizere zvinomborwadza kana usina mari. Hallelujah. Musikana anoda school fees. Many times you want to pursue a certain career, but apana. Pana no vamwe mentality ya mubereki unzi mwana wangu akapedza. Wangopedza form 4. So once akapedza, from there you have to fend for yourself. You have to find your way out of the home. You have to just find yourself. You have to find a career. You have to find a job. You need to pursue a career. You need school fees. So all those they are needs for a girl child. You need transport. And it's you need transport and store a you also need a car. System pressures and license. So now vanokuziya here kuv8 kana kuti unongozikanwa kumabheri chete nokusvitupa kumapasipoti hamusati masvika kuv8 US muchigere kana kuti hamusi kutombofunga nezvazvo. Financial freedom, you will see where I'm going, why you need all those things. Hallelujah. You also need insurance, that is medical insurance. Ukadona yesu zisu kanzi wadona yesu zisu wadona warwara unoti ndiendesei kupi iwe nditakure ndiendesei kumba. Why? Because you don't have medical aid yekuti uti tikuendese kuhospital. Sure, unoti ndiendesei kumba pamba pedu sange ndivindivhirati pa 1964 men were middles mukava kusvika pa1st gate mobva matena. So why you can't direct us to your doctor? Because hauna financial freedom. Hamutorina family doctor because hauna financial freedom. A family needs a doctor. You need a doctor as a girl child. Ana mama vedu vatinozova parimwe basa. Mama ndinamatire ndarwara vanoita zvemweya zvenyama. Kune maspecialist vakaenda kuUZ uko vakaita michimbi vakazonoita fedha kupi kwavanoita kuti vatirape. Do not substitute the physical things with the spiritual. Pari spiritual paita mamhepo nedzeme magwenjimoni vanorova mamhepo achienda, but kana pakanzi paita urwere arthritis vanogona kungokunamatira simba raMwari rofamba, but pari kuda wakadokta. You need medical aid, right? What adventures are panapo? You need a holiday. Semusikana asikana zvekuti kana mamuna December musi wa24 morongedza mabhegi musha wese makananga kumusha hakusi muholiday. Asikana, you need a holiday. Ndosaka ndati handina kudzwa profile yemunhu ndichangotaura sezvandapiwa namweya. Handiti? You need a holiday away from home where you do not cook on your own, you are saved food, you just bath, you relax, you go bungee jumping, you just go for a spa, for a just that massage of the body. Azvina manhepo mwana musikana anozvida. Amen. Ndatinongo outline maneeds. Kuno mwana ndakachikuti haini ndikangwana fees chete ndatoe right mama une maneeds. Hallelujah. Amen. Aya maneeds ndapedza. Financial limitation. Toziya sei kuti apa pakuita financial limitation. Mumwe munhu anogona kuti aine limitation handisi kuiona. Handitori right. Lack of food. Pana akadzidza kucollege kwekuti kune kuchibikwa chikafu. Uchizvibikira wega. 001 munoiziya. Inoreve 001. Batsirai vari paside penyu vasokuziya. 001 ndoyekuti hapana chikafu. Makuseni makatsanya, masikati muchipfuurira tozozona manheru. Ukaona life yakadaro, there is financial limitation. You need to get up. You know, Mount mentioned a very good word rekuti so you have to quicken your hustle. Muka kana pari pa college ndichataura kuti zvinhu zvatingaita. Kozoita iyi sensitive. Makambona munhu akabata tsono neshinda. Achisona sonisa kana kusona zvemukati rarudunuka nhai rarudunuka saka ndakurigadzira. Financial distress mwana musikana hazvibvumidzwe, it's forbidden. Financial distress iyoyo kana kumba kwenyu uchizoti unototi ndipewo shinda yeyelo uchida kusona reyelo riyariya Financial distress. Hallelujah. Kuzina wamwana nokoloita. Wotani kachimwa tendera kuma shops. Yekuti iwoto mbati urikuva ubasi unosangana yari kuma shops. Pa weekend ukafuatega limonotenga chimwa tisatume mwana unosangana yari kuma shops. They are just loitering. Havana zvekuita, or they are just seated at home. Mamudzi wamuna anoti ndakagara. Mumubvunza kuti naye uri kuitei mazuva ano ndakagara. That's financial distress, kugumirwa, kupererwa, kushaiwa. Financial distress because munhu ane chekuita aswera akagara. Makambona timu rinomukanda 9 zvokuti harizivi kuti zuva ranyatsobuda kuine mhute kana kuti kwanga kusina. Makamborona timu iroro. Ende timu iroro rikanga ramukanda 9 kudaro rinozogeza na 12. Rageza na 12 kuma 2-2. Ndopaunozorona rapona inonzi what do they call it? Z-World. And they will tell you there is this character and that character. Z-World yoyo dishiro rakabhadharwa namama. Dishi rakuti mari ukatomubvunza kuti nai dishi rekumba compact plus premium Indian. Havazive vari financial distress. Vari kungorarama nezviri kuitika. Ukavabvunza vanobva kuti tiri kutamba iri kurira. Hallelujah. Then there are those people who do not have that touch. Vasikana mazana mubvanza hauna that. Grooming kai. Do you know kana usina mari you can't groom yourself? Kana usina mari grooming ichitaurwa namama ino apply kuna vasikana vachaita action pana vachitsvaga mari. Mapedza kutsvaga mwari vasikana. Vanhu vamwari vaturika maoko muchidonha pasi ndimi dzataurwa mari ngaitsvagwe neutsvene. Ena unotsvaga mari yako iri clean yakachena woyobvisa zvegumi wodyara mumba mamwari uone kuti mwari havaiti zvikuru here. Amen. Kamwe kuleka kadhati kakaka inyaya yekungoti zvine zvakapresa. Do you know kuti kune maybe no majority but that's not the will of the Father. That sipo yaunogeza kumeso ndoinogeza muviri ndoinogezeswa maplate kumakwenyu. If you are in that situation, that's financial distress. I'm not prophesying or anything, but if you have such a situation, that's financial distress. You need to wake up. Many times as ladies, tineka kungorelax. Chirondarukwa, chironangozora mafuta, kondiana nozoti vaseline, ndiana zoti asikana vanhu vanozora vanogeza nemashawa Jehovah vakasiyana. Ganda watogona munhu wekuti nyangwe aine shena unoona kuti shena iyi ndeyechirungurungu. Iri right. I'm telling you. By the way, let me just mention, not necessarily. I'm a banker. We do what you call as my interbank games. I play soccer personally for personal fitness. You know what? Pane munhu wekuti akadikitira soccer munomutiza. Kutiza chako anobuda nesauti. Why? Because utano hwacho nemafuta anozorwa hazvina kumira musho. But timu rine mari makamborona rikasweta soccer instead yekuti anohwedikita anobuda kamuka perfume kake. Hallelujah. Imi munozoziva kuti anedikitaka wamuguma wozoti iswet. Hallelujah. But iwewe wangogeza hako Mwari atibatsire vasikana. Zvese zvandiri kutaura izvi I'm trying kuenda pfungwa dzemamwe kuti kutsamwe unyatsonzwisisa kuti it's not the will of the Father kuti urambe uri pakalevel ikako kekuti sipo yemaplate ndoyekumeso ndoyemuviri. That's not the will of the Father. It was never the plan of God. If Eve was here to ask him to garden, I don't think she would answer yes. Hallelujah. Amen. My financial limitations are not my results. I'm going to be quick. You have stress. When I'm on stress, in your share my stress, don't put a sheep. When you want someone, I'm going to say, do you know what Maria? Some of these stress things they will go. So that is also three stress. She is a family pack, tikakupa 10,000 US. Zvinodi stress inoenda kana tinora bairiko. stress disappear. So somehow, if you have that financial freedom, you also have that freedom of your emotions. And even spiritual freedom. Hallelujah. Freedom, amen. Then there are those people who've got low self-esteem. In financial stress, I did. So that we also monitor ourselves. If you check it, and school and stuff like that. And I'm helping you so that you identify and what you were trying to identify something else, but the truth is you need to work and have your own backs in your hands. Hallelujah. Amen. Then I hope here is MAFM you know, so just got theft, pilferage, and robbery. Or it was what I'm scanning. Actually involved in anti-robbers. Do not want to why? Because someone is in financial stress, they're just doing anything anyhow. Hallelujah. Then issue of stress, someone becomes bitter, someone becomes jealous, someone becomes envious. Do you not can also you can't even comment in the work at if you are going on but can I only marry a woman with shy? Supply I want to open because I really liked this shout on and what you eat, what you think. Then in my result, your financial stress is prostitution. One thing I've realized about prostitutes, or the revelation that I got about prostitution, all the prostitutes come, they realized one thing. They realized that they've got a marketing skill. Number one. Number two, they realized that something ought to be sold somewhere, somehow. But it's so unfortunate they decided to sell their body. So before the girl child here at Inner City, at Manor Assembly, or at Royal Palace, before I decided you had mouth, I will speak it in Shona. Muzimbabwe, you prize. One chako chekukwidza chisiri iwewe. Iwewe prize yako tichaona musowo chadi ocharorwa. Ana baba vachadya mari dzawanditi. But we know something to sell. Hallelujah. I'm going to speak of the key factors to financial freedom. The key factors to financial freedom, you need to brand yourself. Hallelujah. Muchaona kuti presentation yangu andisikunyotara kuti tengesa chakata, sinoda kukuudza chekutengesa. Our gifts are different. Hallelujah. Vamwe they are gifted panyaya dzechikoro chechecho. Unokwanisa kuita financial freedom nechikoro ichocho. Vamwe they are gifted pakutengesa marketing yekutaura kuti asikana ndikutengesa chakati zoti akauya akatengesa kana matombo ekukweshesa aya. Nesu chese tisingashandise matombo kudzimba dzedu tinotoatenga. Ndazosvika mumabhato asingatenga dombo. Because someone is good at what? It's marketing and it. Ladies, learn to brand yourself. Everyone, each and every one of us, we were given a gift by God. You have your special and unique gift in you. Hallelujah. Some of us, maybe you are a very good teacher. Besides being employed, think about starting your own school. Be the principal of the what? Of the school. Same scanner, we're going to hey, far-fetched. Partner with someone. It's not always that you will start alone. Discuss him. Do you know what many of the things that you want? But vaskana tineda mudziko. Chikasvika patinoungana. Tinotarisana kudai. Advocate mubosi yerudzi. Yemeruni. Flashback yerudzi. Remeruni, can she be my friend? Can I learn anything from here? Can I really benefit from here? Yes, tell Kava. Sometimes we close off our own opportunities on our own, especially please find an opportunity in the lady sitting next to you. They are a great potential to become your customer, to become your helper, to become your partner. Hallelujah. Not partner in crime, but a partner in doing business. Hallelujah. I want to emphasize this. It's possible to have guys, uritori musikana, if you find good partners, unotamba nani iwe? Funga 5, aunoti my best friends ako ekuti zvikanzi nhasi kwaita party ngavasasiwe 5 of them. Vaise apa, vari 5. Vanoita basa rei? Vanoita business rei? Vanogara kupi? Vanoswera kupi? Can you borrow $100 from them right now? Tivafonera kuti abi ndipo $100 anokupa? Urikuona kuti mafriends ako akakukomberedza, uri kutsvaga mafriends ekutsvaga maboyfriends, mafriends ekutamba nawo uchida kustarta maybe kuchikoro, but hausi kutsvaga mafinancial partners, vanhu vanoita nezvemari haunei navo, uri musunday. Hallelujah. Uri munhu chechi dai, especially yedu ineyi yatakazvarwa muna Kristu tiri mairi, tikanamata tinobvisa mari. Hallelujah. Tikanamata tinobvisa mari, ndochokwadi. Wafundiswa kazvitaura vanobva kuti wafundiswa ruda mari. Handisifundiswa. I told you I'm a professional someone and I also do my own business. Tikanamata vasikana tinobvisa mari kuchechi. Ndokutori neblessing yedu. Shoko raMwari robva rati pane mari yako, pane mwoyo wemunhu ndo pane mari yake. Yako iri kuenda kupi? Hallelujah. For those vati vanayo, for those who are starting, we are going to help each other. Hallelujah. Then another key factor, besides branding yourself, remove fear. Hallelujah. Apa pa fear handizide zvaitita pabvetwa outer komama. Vasikana vedu vanotya. People are afraid of unknown, fear of unknown, kungotya. Ukamubvunza kuti naye muri kutya kustarta business, muri kutyei? Haana chaanotya specifically, but anotya. Kungotya so, nekuzvidzikisira pasi. As ladies kungozi kuti kana zviro zvebusiness zvechitoda ana sister nhingi, kana kuti ana mai nhingi, kana ndozotanga naroorwa, kana kuti ndozotanga papaya, can I do it? Then fear of failure. Vasikana vakawanda vanotya kufoira kuti ndigonzi ndaodha maperfume ko akasatengwa, inini nhasi ndauyawo neimwe ego ko akatengwa, handifiwo kuti ko akasatengwa, ko akatengwa. Come up with that mindset. Don't concentrate on the negative, even the positive. Also try and identify my opportunities. Then some ladies, they are afraid of wealth. Kuna anochika kupfuma mama. Kuti this sister, mnozoda vanochikirei. Manzi brother, my brother anozouya. Tinochika kuti driver pajero. Kana kuti Prado, kana kuti Toyota Fortune. Yakadesignwa 2018. Vanonema kuti zvinova mabrother acho ari kupi? Nyika nemuzara kwayo ndezvaMwari. Shoko raMwari robva rati it's not good for a man to be alone. Handiti? Mwari vakatokusika kuti uri mubatsiri, saka kuti uri newako. Either wazoita mari yakawandisisa zvinengeka, unonoshandisira wachiona ine dhabu, iwe uchifunga kuti une tunhu, wotozoona kuti hauna. Hallelujah. Saka don't be afraid of becoming wealthy. Semusikana uchiti ndozoshaya anondirora kunyepa. Mabrother ariko besides pedu kweFM in Zimbabwe. Kune dzimwe chechi variko, dziriko chechi dzemweya dzakawanda. Besides chechi dzedu dzemweya muno muZimbabwe. Kuna America variko. Then some women, they are afraid of traveling. Kuna vasikana vanotya kutravela. Kuti handei pamesina apo, pamesina chekuchekwa. Pamesina apa kuti ndisa passport pabhota pane tonge hameno pane shumba kana kuti hamene pane mapere vanezimura kutinge varoi or something. Hazviurayi vasikana, ndo mameans acho kuti utsvage mari. Somewhere you need to travel. Hallelujah. You may cause zvinhu kuti zviuye wakagara hako muno muZimbabwe, but sometimes it's cheaper kuenda kupi ikoko kuChina, kuDubai, South Africa, Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, Turkey, France. You go there, you order your stuff, you come back, become a wealthy lady. Wona mata zvako nendini, uchiti rata, unonyepewo kuti anzi Mwari anokusiya wakadaro. Murume anozokuwana, pamanotokuona uri paairport yekuDubai uchikonekta kudzoka. Saka seiwo uchitya kuenda ikoko. Mozovati ndaizvifunga neziromanero when I was preparing these notes. Ndikati but vamwe vasikana vedu vasati varoorwa, varume vacho vari muZimbabwe. Ndaingozvifunga mama. Handizivi Mwari kana kuti pfungwa dzangu ndosandati ndaizvifunga kuti vamwe vasikana vedu vasati vaenda haisi nyaya here yekuti angamugarira maoko gore raanongoti ini ndakuita zvekuti vayasikana ndakutengesa mafoni tinozongonzwa akungoti mama mumwe mukanani yenu naye isusuyo zveduvatungamiri wegirls fellowship tototi kristu ngadi ngaakuzwe tichiexport handiti. Can you imagine mama gwenzi vachikupfekedza muchacha vanhu vapiwa mari dzavo totozoita musi wekuperekedza kuairport tichidaiwo wakuenda nemuganani yenu wako anoziva hake mwari. Hallelujah. What I'm trying to say, girls, is don't close off your mind. Don't think you cannot make it. Don't be afraid to travel. Umamukutuma kubva pano kuenda pagwerapo kuti ena unotora matsaga emapoteto sakangofunga kuti komawindi akazondidaiwoso ndezvejambanja vasikana. Business rinoda jambanja. Tell your mind, be determined kuti inini I am determined to do this and I will do it. Hallelujah. If you are doing a business, you have to set targets. Hallelujah. Most women are set targets. Tinongoita business chiiteite ndikawana $10 ndinogonawo dhashi ndotrai kuchitengesa chingodaro chingobatanidza. Set targets. Kuti mwedzi uno ndoda kuita profit yangu usangozvinetse neprofit hombe ndoda kuita profit yangu yekuti ndikaisa kuma-US inoita $50. Ndinofanira kutengesa mabox mangani eperfume yangu yandinotengesa for example. Wotokalkuleta kuti pabox rimwe nerimwe reperfume yangu yandotengesa kana kuti yandogadzira ndinoita profit yekana kuti $3. Saka ndofanira kuita masales mangani. Wototageta kana uchifanira kutengesa 50 bottles ukaona waku 30 mwedzi wako unopera, put yourself under pressure to say I have a target to sell such and such. Hallelujah. Veve vakaenda kuchikoro vasiri gifted panyaya dzekutengesa. If you are gifted kana panyaya dzekudzidzisa, I told you, start my extra lessons. Hallelujah. Uri teacher, vanhu vanoshora kuti hanzi teaching haibhadhara. Teaching inobhadhara. Inini I have my brother who is a teacher. Zvinobhadhara. Sekuru tina ndinotobva wakumbira ma-US kana ndoda kufamba. Iwo vari teacher wemuZimbabwe. Payslip yavo inouya yakanyorwa mabhondi. But he is enterprising. Anotodzidzisa, he is a marker we-agriculture. Agriculture is a green field. He has identified with this area is a green field. I need to teach you kuti zvinofamba so achidzidzisa maschools kuti my-exams anonzouya akadai. It's a green field. MuZimbabwe there are a lot of areas that are green fields. Zvatichiri kutanga. Identify those and escalate yourself kuti udzidzire zvinhu izvozvozvo. Push yourself to do those things. There are a lot of opportunities. Vamwe vanowanza zvekuenda kuTanzania zvawandirwa, zvekuenda kuDar es Salaam haiwa zvibhadhare zvinobhadhara. Sonyepero zvinobhadhara. Can I give you an example? Hallelujah. Munoziva here kuti vanhu vakadzi, especially in particular vakadzi vanopfeka size 9 nesize 10 boots vanoshaya boots mumashops. Pana akambozvita ini ndina mbuya wangu inopfeka size 10 ndinofamba mabhata ese ndichatsvagira tenesi ndinoishaya. Pana akutengesawo size 10 here nditenge? Hapana. But munhu avanhu vanenge vachiti zvinhu zvino zvakudhura. Kana Mwari ngaakupe chizaruro nasasikana uite kaline kako kaunomhanya nako. Hallelujah. Kekunyatsoti unongoenda unotenga zvinhu zvevanhu maplus size chete. Vanhu vajaindi dzimwe nguva vanoshaya zvemukati zvinovafita zvinovakwana. Iwe identify niche market yako woorder zvinhu zvako specifically for those people. Hallelujah. Mazuva ano maschools arikoti takuita zvetechnology vana vakuda maipad. Pana ari kuvatengesa here matablet evana one hand there. Ko vamwe identify zvinhu zviri kudiwa at the right time at the right place. Hallelujah. Imwe area yekuidentifya nayo zvinhu zvaunogona kuita in business. Zvii zvaunotenga iwewe. Mari yako tikakupa mari izvozvi zvii zvaunotenga. Can I have 2 or 3 vanotudza zvaunotenga kana zvavada kutenga? Ndikakupa $50 izvozvi uda kutengei? Hanzi Brazilian for mumwe. Uda chii? Taura kuti uruda chii? Hanzi mafacials, I don't know what mafacials for mumwe. Zvii zvinhu zvakuda kuti ndoda ngati 3. Yes dear. Perfume handiti. Kana iwe uchiitenga chii chinokutadzisa kuitengesa? handiti unotori neyautoimagina soka kunhuhirira kayo kuti iyi ndo yandinoda, inini dzangu ini ndoda dziri sweet, indoda dzakadaiwo. So those areas zvinodya mari yako izvozvozvo zvine potential yekuita business rako. Kana iwe uchitenga mazai everyday uchazoti I can't do breakfast without eggs, somehow you are supposed to be selling those eggs. Hallelujah. Kana uchizoti inini ndinoda fashion, just like inini personally I'm into kids wear, ndotengesa hembe dzevana. Inini ndinoda kuti mwana wangu achene, vanotonzi professor. Ndinoda kuti mwana wangu achene, saka ndakatonoti opportunity that inini ngoswera ndichiwodha kuhembe kune vamwe vanhu dzekuti mwana wangu achene, best way rega ndichitokwira ndiri ini ndiende ndinodzitenga ndiende kutengesereka. Vana venyu vochena saprofesa vangu. That was my idea. Hallelujah. Saka zvinodya mari yako, it's a potential line of business for you in particular. Kana uchida zvemafacials, somewhere uri interested nazvo, you have a passion for it, go and learn the basics. From there, you apply it. Before you know it, tinokona wane maclients ako. You never know, pamwe isusu tichiri kutogadzira kumeso, tiri kushaya anoti advertisera. Kuti mafacials zvakanakira zvakati nezvakati nezvakati, iwe advertise zvinhu zvako, brand yourself, woisa paFacebook, woopena mapage, woita sei zvese zve-social networking. Before you know it, zvaida kukudyira mari ndozvakukupa mari. Hallelujah. Another thing, another key factor to financial freedom, you need to have a mentor. Hallelujah.
Amen.
As a child of God, you can't operate as a lone ranger. Hallelujah. Haungaoperate uchizviti ndinoziva zvese. Ini patori panapa tori nekwatinotodzidzawo. Ines much invited me to come and speak to you. Ndine kwatinotodzidzawo. Handiti, find a mentor. Kana uchida zvemafacials, tsvagawo munhu anoita mafacials, umubvunza makatenga sei. Maproducts ekugadzira munoawana kupi? Naimi ndoda kutengesawo mavegetables, munoorder kupi? Kukumbare, kumapurasi. Kupi exactly? How does the business model work? You can't operate as a what? As a lone ranger. You are not an all-knowing person. Jehovah chete ndo anonzi an all-knowing God. Hallelujah. Vamwe tese tinoda kudzidza. Hallelujah. You need mentorship from someone who has walked the path. Shoko raMwari Robert ati a blind man cannot lead another blind, lest they fall in what? In a ditch. Best way vasikana, identify a mentor. Munhu anoitawo zvinoenderana nezvauda kuita. Kana uda kuvhura chikoro, tsvagawo munhu akavhura chikoro kubvunza kuti zvinofamba sei. Munoregister kupi? Than sitting and say, ha, inini, Mwari akati ndichatanga chikoro. Uchibva pano vasikana, go and find a mentor, someone who is in your line of business. In my mentor, I will tell you, my mentor is someone who is just something else. Recently, I asked them, my guru, something. We order most of our stuff in Turkey. You know what was her response? She was like, give me a month. I need time because I recently enlarged my fleet. Fleet, I thought it was a motor. Do you know what she bought? She bought a gonyet. That's my mentor for you. You got now I'm attached my name. Those are true eater. Never take a say, Vascana. When you suggest a line of business, I don't know what you might going to this but that lady is doing it. You will see what Uncle Cards says so. And it is. Shogorama Robert Elijah, why more says so. I managed not to touch this. I got to me a photo in from Mango. I got mine. I recently what increased my fleet. What in our budget, my good. Near business. Apana Maria Murumeo, Ipapo, Imariao. Hallelujah. So I want to challenge some lady. You have a mentor who challenge her. In the to push out, this year. Guided a business. No, I think it tingo from cham. You know, the go to Basel, go be lost, Baba, and the Pericas of an age that went. No, but a best of work, but I'm now challenged. My mind changed. My guru think of one yet. My mind really changed. You have a mentor who challenges your mind. Associate with the great. If you are an eagle, please don't play with the chickens. You will die a chicken, yet there is an eagle inside of you. If there is something inside so strong of you, please don't play with those people who have got a weak inside. If something inside so strong begin to speak, please speak to those that have got something inside so strong. Hallelujah. Zwamari kana zvikatanga kutaura mauri tsvagawo ane zvamwari. zvebusiness zvakatakautaura mauri tsvaga munhu ane business riri kufaya nyasha dzinenge dziripo. Don't worry much kuti ndichazodi pane inonzi anointing by association. I'll tell you my testimony about my guru and how she helped me. But I'll tell you, association in a power. Sometimes young when it's not customer, I'm not customer what the power you must get it because I don't feel like it's area but where's I'm not taking it why but I don't to my customer and those people buy. Hallelujah. So please have a mentor, associate with people that matter. Hallelujah. Then another thing that you need to take into account, research with passion on an area you. If you want to start a business, rema chickens. Research kuti zvinodei machickens chichinozouraya machickens. Anofitwa nefeeding yakaita sei. Chikafu chichinotengeswa kupi mazuva ano chakachipa kupi. Don't just start a business usina information yakakwana. Unobondera ende kana wabondera the next thing wakuti Mwari havaiti. Mwari vanongosiya zvinhu zvichidona. Somewhere yakuti you are faithful, oh God, ikatanga kuimbwa you become bitter. Why? Because you haven't seen the faithfulness of God. Research. You have all the knowledge that is necessary. Hallelujah. Also have what we call financial literacy. Yakakosha vasikana. Kune vanhu vakaona vanoita mabusiness ane mari but they don't have financial literacy. Financial literacy kungoziva kuti mari dzinofamba sei. Ndikaita mari ndonoiinvestira kupi. For example, ndikutengesa huku ndatanga ne500 dzatengwa dzaenda ndaita imwe extra profit ndaita grow the business maybe ndakuchiproducer 10,000 chickens. Where else can I invest without any hassle? Vana vaMwari kune maareas akawanda ekuinvesta without any hassle. Stock exchange zvemuZimbabwe hazvasi kufamba stereke but there is stock exchange. You can always buy my assets. Won't be sort mazono assets acho kana kuri kuda kutenga stand iri reasonable dziri kuwanikwepo but vasikana kazhinji kacho tinongoti chi ndichazoroorwa. Hallelujah. Financial literacy nzwisisa kuti mari inoinvestwa kupi and investment yandoda kuita iri reasonable here handinyure here. Research about those things that you want to do. Hallelujah. Then my last point, it's the last but it doesn't mean that's the least but that's the most important. If you want financial freedom, you ought to pray. Mari is spiritual. Hallelujah. Very spiritual. Pani kwainotisa vasikana mari. Kozoita kwainonoungana zviri very 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 spiritual. You may be very spiritually strong but ukatadza kumita certain fundamentals zviri mushoko raMwari you will find yourself very broke. Shoko raMwari robva rati give and it shall be given unto you. Kana waibata mari waita maprofits ako, pray about it. Mwari, what's the next venture? Pay your first fruits. Zvandotaura zvinhu zvandinoita. Pay your first fruits. Even whenever I start a new venture, ndikatengesa hembe kana ndikanotora order yangu ndikauya ndikatengesa ndisandadzitengesa ndinodzileya mahands ndoti iwe tsvaga muridzi wako, find your owner right now. I want my money quickly. I did not buy you to stay in my house. I bought you so that I may earn more. Ngadziende ndapedzodziturika maoko vanotenga vaya vakatenga mari iya ikauya, the first money inotouya ndinototora portion ndotoendesa kuchechi ndonopa mufundisi wangu ndinoti baba aya mafirst fruits aya ezvinhu zvauya sevasikana. It's a principle that you need to live by. It's very biblical. Mushoko raMwari zvinotonzi mwana mukomana wekutanga wese aizvarwa ari a male child aitoendeswa kunodedicatwa to the house of God. Ndo the same chatanga kutengwa ichocho mari iyoyo yawawana mubusiness rako, any type of business. Pray about it, take your first fruit, endesa kuchechi uone kuti Mwari vanokunyadzisa here. Mwari havadyi chemunhu. Kunyepa kuti hadzi vanhu vanopa vanoshaya. Givers will never lack. Amen. So if you want financial freedom, pray about it. Hallelujah. Before I go and sit down, I just want to tell you my short testimony of one of the trips that I did in my life. My first time to go to Turkey, I didn't intend to go to Turkey. Ndaida kwenda kuChina. Ndobva ndichiudza muzukuru wangu aenda ndaida kwenda naye ndikati handeicheseka kuChina. achingonditi mbuya tinoenda. She wasn't jealous. She's one of the people who dragged me into business. Achinditi mbuya tinoenda, but circumstances were difficult on her part, so she couldn't go with me. Then I just prayed, ndikati nini Mwari, itai kuti zviite, ndoda kuita business another dimension. I now want to become international. You know what I did? I prayed to God. Whilst I'm praying, ndakabva ndaita prayer kundapedza ndobva ndatora offering yangu bva ndaenda nopa mufundisi wangu, bva ndauza ndikati mufundisi iyi ndeyekuti Mwari ataure iyi yandiri kukupai. Mwari akasataura kandi ndiri kuyazokubvunza idzi muchataura. Vakatoseka zvavo mufundisi wangu, ndobva ndaenda kumba. When I was sleeping, I had a dream. When I was out of this earth, ndikatoona teki kari kanyika kadiki diki ndiri kutonya ndiri mumakore, ndobva ndati kouku ndekupi kusvikadza hakutyise enda. So I was like, which place is this? Then came Sunday. My guru anokudza my mentor yabva ndobva wagara paside pangu. Zvikadzi kombeni nehande ikakuteki. Ndikati kuteki. Zvikanzi hande ngatironge ijeni. Ndakambobvunzwa muchiti munoita zvebusiness rekutekesa zvinhu zvinotengeka chichi. Ndikati my guru muri serious? Zvanzi ngatiendei. You know how the devil works. When he sees kuti pane zvinoitika anobva apinda. My guru zvinhu zvakabva zvaoma. My guru ndobva watonditi mimi hazvisati zvabatana, ngatimbomirei. Ndobva ndatoona kuti time iri kupera, and I went into prayer again. Ndikati Mwari, you spoke, but now it's not materializing. What's happening? Then God spoke to me kuti ita zvese tsvaga visa. Mari batanidza yawinayo, you should go to take. Then I went and I applied for the visa. You know, fear and I usaite fear. Ndaisaziva kuti embassy yacho iri papi, zvinofamba sei, zvinodii, but I gathered information, research about it and read. Ndoyandakaita ipapo. Ndobva ndaresearcha mandaendesa mapapers angu. I got my visa. When I got my visa, I bought my tickets to go via South Africa. Zvatisandamboita, you know, zvatisandamboita kusouth kunana Tanzania ndaenda, but this is an environment yema-Arabs. Kuteki kwakamboitika issue yesuicide bombing. Vayatanga kudzoka mumind mangu kuti iwe uda kuenda kuma-Arab, iwe. The devil will do that. I'm telling you this so that ndikudze masecumstances unosangana nayo ukada kuita another level, especially in business. And you know what happened? The next thing, I went vanaenda nemusouth Africa. Vandasvika kuteki. Apa ndikuenda kuteki kwandisikazi. Apa ndikaenda ndiri one. Handina kuenda nomumwe munhu. Do you know what I would do, people of God? Ndoda kukudzai zvandinorarama. I'm not going to tell you zvokunyepa. Inini I speak in tongues when I'm in confusion. I would speak in tongues. Hotel yandakabhuka ndakaibhuka online yandisikaziye, ndakangofila kuti panonzi pakati, I think that's the central place. Saka rega nditsvake hotel yangu iri papa, iri ine reasonable price. Pandaenda. Then when I went there, that lady, the man guru was like, iwe uri kupi? Vari kunditsvaka pa-app. Ndikati ndiri kuteki. She was awingi. Uri kuenda wega unorwara? Ndikati no. God gave me an instruction that I should come. Ndatosvika. And she was like, so how are you copying it? The people in Turkey do not speak English. Even the only language that I can converse with a foreigner is English. It was difficult. But that lady said there is someone there in Zimbabwe and who contacted the and she helped me. That lady said, up on the street, street. Until Nanato conversation with the area, I was there for a week. But now my team is Oshana. You know, Shana, Unotitaura was spoken as what Pana and the Taura and the Zarewa. I would do good together, hotel room, come together for lunch, dash and chinamat. Pano Buddha motel room, Yamuna Tenga, miracles would happen. In a way, there is a shop, the guys there, they could not speak language. English, all we could do was to punch on a calculator. How much is this? You punch on a calculator and say, no, this is too much. I want this price. Until that girl was like, all right, she take a share, and he reduced the price by almost 50% for those products. And I don't think just what I'm frustrated. Name English. Yeah, answer English. So I want to tell you, my limitations are why I can use them. In fact, I put up town which we are frustrated among Arab and person in their price. Jimmy, those Askana that not our Chimoti, Marika, Maritation was scanned. That I had a 1 week and I came back. Did he write? The other Sukira. Was it Brandaddy? Younger just ndochokwadi ndodaudza vana vaMwari kuti pray about it. That journey murume wangu aifona andori nezita raakandipa nenyaya iyoyo yekungodirikana ndangomukira zvinhu kuti ndakuda kuita chinhu. If I think of something and determined, I'll push until I get it. Achikuti saka uriko ndikati every day he would call akangogara mubasa, he would try my number pamwe ndinoenda kushopping handina wifi, he would look for me. But you know what, there is a time when people will be trying to look after you, but the truth of the matter, it's God who looks after you. Even ukaenda ku foreign land, it's God who looks after you. Vanhu vanoti vakadzi vanoenda kukunze vanoita musikanzwa vanoti indaitaura nendimi ndiripo. Hallelujah. Saka ndamuudza umwe musikana ari panapa kuti azvityise, enda kokunzwa Mwari achikuti enda. Mama gwatiza wambotaura kuti Mwari vane shoko ravakataura. Even in your business, if God has spoken anything concerning you, pursue it, don't be afraid. Ina ndisina kwandichaatya. I went there, I came back. Here I stand, I'm still the same. Ndichingori mudzimai akafanana newe. Hallelujah. That was my word, and I bless the Lord. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Extend Mama MUCHIRAWEHONDO for such a powerful peace. Amen.